Yeah.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. This is Noora Almansoori, an Emirati alumni from the Early Childhood Education major at Sharjah Higher Colleges of Technology. Before I start, I'd like to thank those responsible for this outstanding conference for giving me this golden opportunity to present my study. I'm going to present my research, which discusses the impact of integrating classroom technology tools into English literacy lessons on UAE preschoolers' phonics skills. Here's the introduction. Let's start with it. Research topic. According to literature, technological literacy apps using iPads are very motivating, as learners can use apps to wonder, learn, plan, gather, create, and share. As a result, Chris Jolly, the Jolly Phonics director, decided to create an app called Jolly Phonics Lessons to achieve his vision of being a global leader in developing high-quality educational programs that support children's learning. The Jolly Phonics application provides daily lessons for each of the 42 letter sounds, as each sound is taught along with a picture of the lowercase letter, animated action for the letter formation, and a song that makes learning sound memorable and enjoyable visually and orally through games. The application provides educators with easy-to-follow plans, enabling them to deliver lessons that include the skills learners need to master and assessments to assess students. The constructivism theory heavily influenced phonics because it emphasizes the interaction between students and situations, with the idea that students are actively engaged in developing knowledge for themselves. It indicates that phonics instruction should be learner-centered, and they discover rules and make connections between previously and newly acquired knowledge, and educators promote them. As a result, the educator's use of the Jolly Phonics Lessons application will achieve the constructivism theory, since the application offers games that can be individually used by learners and educators will guide. Problem statement. Based on previous teaching practicums, the training courses were given by the college, I noticed that teachers lack understanding of the Jolly Phonics approach and how to properly deliver it to students. They are only following what is written in the curriculum, which lacks explanation of the approach and therefore affects on how educators teach it to students. Due to that, teachers teach students the letter names because they are not the same as their sounds, which negatively affects children's pronunciation. I also observed that students spend a 1 hour class a week learning English in a traditional way, that children get bored, and that it seems challenging to learn a second language without frequent practice. Not only that, but they get introduced to English in KG2 level only. So, therefore, their English subject grades were very low. The UAE's Ministry of Education mission is to build an educational system based on the 21st century skills and revive Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's Smart Learning Initiative. So, I decided to use a digital phonics program via an iPad to teach kindergarten learners the phonics skills and assess its effectiveness on the teacher's way of delivering and how it impacts children's learning. As one of my targets is also to reach the UAE national agenda, which involves preparing students to be professionals in English and developing a first-rate educational system as they aim to equip all schools and students with smart devices for all teaching methods. That aligns with the research goal, which is to introduce children to new technology-based literacy applications to develop their reading and writing. Research questions. Based on the background, problem statements, and literature review, the following hypotheses were affirmed for this study. Integrating Jolly Phonics lesson application into English literacy lessons has positive impact on students' skills on letter sound identification, letter formation, phoneme blending, and phoneme segmenting. There is a significant difference on the performance of Group A students who had English literacy lessons that were integrated with the Jolly Phonics Lessons application and Group B students who received literacy instructions in a traditional methods on letter sound identification, letter formation, phoneme blending, and segmenting. Methodology. A comparative study was conducted using the mixed method design, combining qualitative and quantitative approaches, and the quantitative analysis tested statistical differences between literacy achievements between two groups, while the qualitative analysis was supported by field notes and artifacts. The research aimed to offer deeper insights into the impact of different instruction methods of teaching and learning. Research context. The research was carried out over an 8-week period at a government school in the UAE, especially in Al, with 2 classes equal to 36 emerging learners in the English classes who are low academic achievers at the KG2 level. The Group A consisted of 19 students, received the intervention or the Jolly Phonics Lessons application in learning phonics, which is also called the experimental group, while 17 learners in Group B remained with the traditional method of learning phonics, which are the control group. Action research cycle. I used the PDCA cycle to propose a change, put it into practice, evaluate the results, and respond through actions. The 4 phases of the acronym are plan, do, check, and act. After stating the problem, students' levels were determined by incorporating letter phonemic awareness assessment inventory to discover each individual requirement to plan the process. I next completed the planning phase by identifying the students' weaknesses. The intervention included the Jolly Phonics Lessons application with its lessons, games, and assessments. Every week, a new letter sound was introduced through the application. I used it twice for Group A to teach them the 4 literacy skills, and artifacts like pictures, audio recordings, and videos were taken on a regular basis for a daily observation process. Changes were recorded and documented during the implementation process through observation notes. I then checked to see where I could verify the information gathered, and after that, the collected data was analyzed to see if the plan met its objectives, and I took action on the intervention delivery method, which was adjusted to suit students. I'll skip this part due to the limited time we have. Data collection tools. I used mixed data as descriptions and numbers were used to present the data, meaning quantitative and qualitative data. I used the sampling method since only emerging level learners were chosen. The qualitative data was collected from peer-reviewed journals to support the research, observation notes to allow me discover insights from other researchers' methods, and a face-to-face interview with the English and special needs teachers to see how they integrate the Jolly Phonics approach and suggest ways to improve its delivery, and artifacts as well, like the learner's work, pictures, and observation sheets to gain in-depth knowledge of the problem and generate new ideas. The Phonemic Awareness and Assessment Inventory test, validated by a literacy specialist, was used as a quantitative data collection, and all data were used to answer this question in this research proposal. Moving to the findings. The impact of integrating classroom technology to letter sound identification. Results show that Group A gradually improved compared to Group B, as apparent in Figure 2. A few of the contributing factors that influenced the progress of the Group A were due to some of the distinct features of the Jolly Phonics Lessons application, such as digital stories and poems, electronic flashcards, rhyme songs, and sound-based game. Despite that, the level of improvement varied among students in Group A, as all of them demonstrated progressive growth after the intervention interval. Mean score interpretation. The Group A obtained a mean score of 6.52 after 8 weeks. In line with the mean score interpretation table, their level progressed from novice to advanced beginner. The Group B, which was taught phonics in a traditional method, remained at the novice stage. Comparing the means, it is evident that students in Group A outperformed their counterparts in Group B in letter sound identification, as they gained a score of 3.63, while those in Group B gained 0.11. T-tests to sample assuming equal variances for the letter sound identification skill. The results show that there is a significant difference between the letter sound identification assessment mean scores between Group A and B. This implies that Group A score is significantly greater than Group B. And this data supports the study conducted by Jones, Clark, and Ritzel in 2018 that children learn the letters and sounds better when they are repeated in the same story and through audio-visuals games. The use of technology in Jolly Phonics education has the potential to greatly enhance students' achievements. Moving to the impact of integrating classroom technology tool in letter formation. Results show that Group A performed better in the post-tests. The Jolly Phonics application includes explicit visual instruction on how hands should be moved to form the letters, and games focusing on using index finger to form the letters, and letter formation activities, which can all be repeated indefinitely, help the students develop their letter formation skills. Mean score interpretation. The table 5 displays that Group A achieved a mean score
sorry,
of
but we have some time restriction.
All right, so should I skip?
I'm sorry. No, not start, but try to try to be quick.
All right. All right.
I'm sorry, but we have
no worries, it's fine. So Group A achieved a mean score of 6.31, representing advanced beginner level, while the Group B granted a mean score of 2.64, implying that the students remained in the novice stage. As presented in Table 6, the data were analyzed using the two-sample T-statistic. The results revealed that there is a significant difference between the mean scores of the two groups on their letter formation post-test, and this indicates that Group A outperformed Group B in this area. Finding supports that the results of researcher who discovered for Butler, who discovered that handwriting supporting phonics digital software is excellent for helping children develop their tracing abilities, starting with traceable letters for the beginner's writer to help them write neatly and inside the lines. Moving to the phoneme blending, the results shows that Group A demonstrated slight increase on their phoneme blending performance compared to Group B, and the incorporated games and the application about blending sounds contributed on their understanding the sound. It helps them to understand the sounds that the letter represent and be able to blend those sounds to create words. As presented in Table 7 and 8, Phoneme blending skill levels were identified based on the mean score interpretation table, and results shows that Group A achieved a mean score of 4.47, which denotes an advanced beginner level of proficiency, meaning that they outperformed Group B. The data revealed that there is a statistical difference between the PAAI phoneme blending assessment mean scores of the both groups, and this indicates that Group A performed better compared to the Group B. Phoneme segmenting. The results here show evidence increase in phoneme segmenting skill after the intervention was seen in Group A, and their post-test scores were way better than their counterpart group. And students were highly engaged in playing CVC word games incorporated in the application, as they were supported with developmentally appropriate and eye-catching visuals. The results show that after 8 weeks of integrating Jolly Phonics application, the Group A mean score improved dramatically to 4.31, demonstrating a progression to advanced beginner in comparison to Group B. The results show that there is a significant difference between the post-test scores of Groups A and B phoneme segmenting assessment, and this implies that Group A exceeded the performance of Group B in terms of segmenting CVC words into its individual sounds. In conclusion, after receiving the Jolly Phonics Lessons application, Group A learners' literacy scores increased and expanded more than what they were taught traditionally. The application provides interactive and engaging lessons that help students develop strong phonetic skills, which is a valuable foundation for learning to read and write. The software's ability also to appeal to students' visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learning styles ensures that they can all fully comprehend the material presented. And by integrating them into the curriculum, teachers can help students build confidence, develop fluency, engage deeply with the English language, support students' language development, and also prepare them for academic success. Educators are also provided with lessons and activities for teaching kindergarten learners the literacy skills. As such, I encourage educators to consider implementing the Jolly Phonics Lessons application for effective language acquisition in their classrooms. For the recommendation, implications from this study highlight the positive impact of incorporating the Jolly Phonics Lessons application into literacy classes on low-achieving students. So on that basis, future research of Jolly Phonics Lessons application would support mixed ability classes or students with dyslexia. This is the end of the presentation, and thanks all for listening.
Thank you very much for this